Mike's Daily Podcast.
Hello, everybody. My name is Mike Matthews. This is a show called Mike's Daily Podcast. We have a wonderful program that we do all kinds of things. It's wonderful to have you here.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I have this podcast called Mike's Daily Podcast, and I don't know how it has lasted, because you know what, I have been blasted most of the time I've done this show. Just kidding. I am always sober, especially because I had something really bad happen to me in October, where I drank a bunch of beer, and I got really sick.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
I think this thing crashed. No, it's still running. Okay,
Mike's
this is the
Daily
exciting sounding podcasting.
Yeah!
Hey, I saw some interesting details about the world of podcasting, how it is getting more and more popular these days. Sorry, I'm talking into one of these microphones. I'll have to share a video at mikesdailypodcast.com of this microphone. They're just the nicest mics. And last night, I was at the special Podcastro Valley microphone with lovely lady friend at Cafe Anyway. And we had, I would say, a couple of people stop by, including, let's see, we had John Deere the engineer, Floyd the floorman. My point is that occasionally you can tell when a microphone I'm using is really awesome if you're a total audiophile person. But for the most part, it's as long as it gets the job done, it doesn't really matter. So that's why I tell everybody you should go and podcast and pop your peas. Oh, that was something that Frank Sinatra was very obsessed about. This is something I didn't know about Frank, is that he was very much into the mechanics of music.
And here's today's podcast picture.
How you sing a note. You never say ah in a song, you say It goes on and on. It's something I'm trying to think of an example, but yeah, he was like, you can hold a note better. Like, he knew what way to sing a song. When he saw the words and the lyrics, he knew exactly how to sing them in order to make them sound at the top-notch crooner level, to be as sung as well as possible, I guess would be the way to say it. And I am not the type of person that really judges a song. Oh, Basil had a beautiful voice. The late great Basil the boxer. What a singer he was. Oof. Was something he would say often. But yeah, there's actually a scene in that movie I was telling you about on Netflix, the documentary that was put together by two of the people that work with Spielberg all the time. Is it Kathleen Kennedy and Frank Marshall? They made a lot of Spielberg's movies. Oh, speaking of Spielberg movies, so you know Tom Cruise, he was in, was it War of the Worlds? I think that was a Spielberg movie. Tom Cruise went completely ballistic on the set of this movie he's doing. First off, props to the guy for not ever aging. He's like Paul Rudd, never ages. How is that done? I would like to know, because I'm aging like crazy. I'm doing all the aging for them. It's the Andrea Dory. Andrea Dory? Whatever that thing is that Oscar Wilde talked about. I am that person that ages for everybody else. So what happened is Tom Cruise got really upset because he saw somebody on his set not wearing a mask, and he freaked out. And for once, Tom Cruise has been known to freak out or act odd in the past. He got angry, I think, was it Matt Lauer? When Matt Lauer said to him, was talking about, psychology, and why do you hate psychology so much? And Tom Cruise said, no, psychology, it's a pseudoscience. Unlike Scientology, that has the word science in its name, so can't argue with that, which of course he isn't to Scientology. And that joke was from Louis Black. He said it on The Daily Show years ago. and I happened to record it on a cassette tape when he said it. And I took the cassette tape to work, and I used it on the air, and I got into no trouble at all because no one was listening to my show. Unlike YouTube, which now listens to my show to make sure I don't say anything about vaccinations. Oops. But yes, they are being very sensitive, being very careful, and Tom Cruise is being very careful and being very sensitive and saying, look, and this was part of the rant you may or may not have heard, it went viral, saying to people, hey, look, there are people depending on me with these movies that I do. There's a big influx of money, not only to my own bank account. Tom Cruise gets a ton of money. He's pretty rich. Which all goes to Scientology. I don't know. I don't know how that works, that particular route of moolah. At any rate, he has to, employ all of his employers, and they are employees, rather, and they need the money. So he's like, if you don't wear a mask, we're going to get shut down, and these people are going to be out of a job. Maybe they want to put their kids through college. All of that to say, what was I even going into? Tom Cruise. You would imagine him, it's not true, but he does know that in order to be a movie production company, you have to adhere to the rules in California. Oh, here's the other interesting thing. That lady that went viral too, where she was driving to her restaurant that she owned and said that, hey, I've been shut down by California once again, yet I have followed all the rules and I've been shut down. And look, right next door, here's a movie company doing a movie, and some of the people, they're allowed to make the movie. Oh, and they had a catering section, a catering truck and all that. And she's like, and I've been shut down, and they're allowed to do the movie. Mayor Garcetti in Los Angeles. He allows those movie companies, because it's like the lifeblood of California, of Los Angeles, but yet he hurts the small business owner. That's apparently what the narrative was of that particular story. Hey, look who's outside a cafe anyway. Hi, Mark. It's Benita the Rodeo Queen. How you doing?
That's a Disgruntled Fiddle Player, tell you what.
What?
You are all smug and think you know everything about coronavirus. But it's not a real thing. In fact, it's absolutely made up. Nobody's getting sick from it. It's all a fantasy.
Okay. You believe that, and you just want to deny any facts. Let me take your cell phone away from you right now.
Why are you going to take my cell phone?
I'm going to take the cell phone away from you because you're denying science, you're denying facts. Your cell phone relies on all kinds of technology. That thing that's sitting on you right now in your pocket, I assume it's in your pocket. I'm not going to... Or you're just happy to see me. But the thing is that smartphones run on this technology that took years and years and years to develop. And it was science. There was all kinds of science and math involved, and people trying to figure out how electricity works and how you can get things really, really tiny and get those chips super tiny, small, little bit, and how you can make the radio waves carry messages and data. All this combined to make that object that's in your pocket, which I assume is a phone.
Yeah, it's a phone. What do you think it is?
Well, you should take that phone and throw it away because you apparently don't believe in science. You don't believe in facts. You don't believe in the absolute things in our world that are real, that maybe to someone that just came out of a cave might think, oh, magic. Who was the writer that said that technology to people, advanced technology looks like magic to the unadvanced? So you're just being unadvanced.
Well, who said it? What author said it then?
The guy that wrote 2001 A Space Odyssey.
Stanley Kubrick?
No, he was the director. the guy that wrote. It's gonna pop into my head in a moment. But Stanley. No, I keep wanting to say Stanley Kubrick, but it's not. It's the guy from 2001. Was written by. Ding, 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 you win. Arthur C. Clarke. There we go. I was gonna say Stanley Clarke, but that's a bass player, I think, or the guitarist, the jazz person. Odd. Look who else is here. Hello, Mike. I make the delicious root beer. Have some right now. Excellent. I will have some of that delicious root beer. So this podcast today, a little bit all over the place. I guess my point is that you take this seriously and we'll all be okay. We'll all get through this. Everything will be fine. You'll be fine. Your friends will be fine. And this is what you do. What you do is you go home and you hug your friends. You hug your family. You tell them, look, I know you might be a restaurant owner in Los Angeles and you hate Mayor Garcetti because he shut down your restaurant, but listen to me right now. The fact is that I gotta see a movie with Tom Cruise in it. So it should be allowed that the Tom Cruise makes the movie and your restaurant stays shut down. Capiche? And that's pretty much... Oh! This is the other thing. And then I'll wrap it up. Wow! What a 180! Today was a 180 day. Well, I'm recording this on Tuesday. I'm going to post it on Wednesday. I might actually end up posting 2 podcasts on Wednesday. So technically, it's a daily podcast because one's on Tuesday, one's on Wednesday. It's just some of us have a life. I got to go home and do some plumbing working and fix some stuff when I get home. Not looking forward to that. At any rate, cafe anyway. The fact of the matter is that today or yesterday on the podcast with lovely lady friend, it was announced that Mr. Biden is now our president-elect, and you cannot deny it anymore. It is the truth. And there's a news agency that leans conservative that waited all this time to call him president-elect, and now they were just calling him Joe Biden, Senator Joe Biden. They weren't putting the president-elect in front of it, and now they are finally doing it. Even this very right-wing news company is saying it. Even Mitch McConnell congratulated the president-elect. It's a done deal, friends. It was a done deal weeks ago, and now it's the truth. It is solidified. Wow. And people are still going to deny it. But I have noticed that some of the really big conservative talk show hosts have pivoted, and now they're going after Swalwell. Eric Swalwell. Hey, let's look at the last newsletter that I got from Eric Swalwell, who supposedly had a, what do you call it? An affair? Well, no, I don't think he was married yet. But apparently he was in a intimate relationship with a Chinese spy. And so there's a whole... Now they're just jumping into that. They're like, yeah, I guess we can't talk about this Trump thing anymore because they proved us all wrong. So we'll just jump right into Swalwell. Swalwell's huge mouth. He swallows well because of his enormous mouth. He is the representative of the Alameda County where I live. He does, and he's done some interesting things. He does these little hikes in Podcastro Valley, or he used to. I don't think he's going to do that anymore. And let's see, his last newsletter said, from the presidential election's conclusion to the rapidly increasing COVID-19 numbers in our area, there has been a significant amount of information and misinformation thrown our way over the past several weeks. I'm sure he'll go more into that, the misinformation against him. Let's see, recently, this is basically just telling all the stuff he did on Facebook Live and whatnot. Hey, I just got a text. Let's see what it is as we wrap up Mike's Daily Podcast. Yeah, and... oh my gosh, why are you sending me this? Santa! Gosh. some people I work with texting me. No, it's another text. And you know what they're texting me? They're texting me screenshots of their... all right. Okay. Good night. There. They should get the hint now.
I need some turntables, Mike, if you're going to say it like that.
That ding drives me nuts. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, he did say in his newsletter, Mr. Swalwell, that President-elect Biden on Wednesday, January 20th, 2021, will be sworn in as the 46th President of the United States. My office hopes to be able to distribute via random drawing. Oh, let's not go completely against Eric Swalwell, because he can get us into the inauguration. A random drawing, a limited number of tickets for constituents of California's 15th district, of which I guess I am a constituent of, to attend this inaugural ceremony. Does it include airfare and hotel? Woo! All right. Now it says our office has not yet been provided with information regarding pending restrictions, attendance limits, or social distancing requirements to protect attendees and prevent the spread of COVID-19 at the inaugural ceremony. Yeah, I suppose it's going to be a lot of masks and a lot of people far away from each other. 6 feet apart. It'll be interesting to see what the inauguration will look like. Tell me what you think it's going to look like. You can call me 336MM Daily. 3 + 3 = 6. MM as in Mike Matthews. Daily as in what this podcast will continue to try to be. And the podcast picture, I think we'll do something. Let's go back maybe 3 years ago, if we can do that, and get a podcast picture with Basil the Boxer 3 years ago. Or we'll go 2 years ago. 2 years ago with Basil the Boxer. We'll bring you. We haven't had a picture of him in a while, so we will have that. And thank you for listening to the show. You can chime in and let me know what you think at the email mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com or call 336MM Daily. And now, I got Ariel to take us out. Oh, and don't forget, next show it'll be the wonderful Madame Rootabega, Valentino, and Bison Bentley.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye!